Hi, I'm Dad's son. You probably know because you remember me from Devotional 6, right? Yeah. So we're going to show you this old house. Turn. This old house right here.
What about it? What do you think of this old place here?
It's
kind of barn place.
It's an old barn from the older days, I think. Or maybe it's a house. Looks kind of like a house.
Good morning, friends. Michael Bresnaugh here. As my son Hudson just pointed out to you, there's an old broken down barn behind me. Not usable for anything. The roof, I'm sure, leaks. The walls are falling down. Surrounding this old barn is a lot of growth, overgrowth of brush and weeds, and the trees and vines have fallen down all around it and on top of it. And the owner of this barn can't use it for anything. It just sits here abandoned. Our lives looked like a broken mess before we received the gospel, before we received that good news of Jesus Christ, that he came and died and lived a sinless, perfect life and then rose again so that we could have new life in his name. And yet we forget about the magnitude of our sin. As those who followed Jesus Christ maybe for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years or more, we can struggle to recall the magnitude of our sin. And when we forget the magnitude of our sin, we forget how to fully comprehend the magnitude of God's grace. And when that happens, we start to respond to other people with no grace. We don't give them the same forgiveness and love and look on them with joy like God looks upon us with grace and love and joy. And in Paul's letter to the church in Galatia, he responds to them with this message that he writes, you've known Jesus Christ and you're veering from the path of grace. And so at the end of his letter, he reminds them how they're supposed to respond to people still in mess, still dealing with brokenness. Because if we're really honest, as followers of Jesus, we still struggle with mess in our lives. Yes, God has restored, he's made new, he's made whole, and he's in this process of healing us and sanctifying us, but we still deal with brokenness in our lives, and we live in a broken yet beautiful world. And so as people that have received the gospel, we go back to gospel roots. As gospel people, we are to embrace mess. That's really what Paul's talking about in the tail end of his letter to the church in Galatia. Look at this in verses 25, 26 of chapter 5, and then on to the beginning of chapter 6, Paul's letter to the church in Galatia. He says this, if we live by the Spirit, that is, we've been made alive in the Spirit. That's what has happened for people who are gospel people, who've received the good news of Jesus. If we are alive, if we live by the Spirit, let us also walk by the Spirit. What does that look like? Let us not become boastful, he writes. Not arrogant, saying, hey, we've got it all together. Our lives aren't a mess anymore. Your lives might be looking messy, but we have it all together. No. Walking by the Spirit means we don't become boastful. We don't challenge one another. He says, challenging one another, envying one another. No, because we came to Jesus as broken, falling down, dilapidated people, needing restoration, needing new life and forgiveness and abundance of grace in God. And we've received that in Jesus, so that changes how we respond to one another. Gospel people embrace mess. Look as he continues now in chapter 6, verses 1 and 2. So, brethren, that means brothers and sisters in Jesus, you're gospel people. Even if anyone is caught in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness, each one looking to yourself so that you too will not be tempted, bearing one another's burdens and thereby fulfill the law of Christ. And so to share and to bear one another's burdens, to carry them through. When someone sins, you don't go, hey, you're still a broken mess and I don't struggle with that anymore. What's wrong with you? No, in a spirit of gentleness, one who's living by the Spirit, walks by the Spirit, doesn't become boastful or arrogant in their spirituality or challenge the other person, envying what somebody else has or acting like you have more than they have, but instead you seek to restore them in a spirit of love, that gentleness and respect, each one looking to yourself, letting the finger also point toward you. Oh, what brokenness and mess am I still dealing with in my life, thinking that I don't have any mess? No, that's nonsense. I know I've been following Jesus since I was 5 years old. That means I've been alive in the Spirit for 28 years, almost 29 years since I trusted Christ. But I still deal with some mess in my life. My family, we still deal with mess in our lives. We're still broken and in need of running to Jesus together, running back to the gospel roots together, and then administering that healing balm of grace to people around us. So what are you dealing with today? Are you looking at somebody else's life and saying, hey, what's wrong with you? Your life looks like a mess. Like, you're so broken, I don't understand. Are you challenging them with this attitude that you have it all together, that you're not dealing with mess like they are? Or maybe you're dealing with a lot of mess in your life and you're sensing from other people that they're kind of looking down their nose at you, challenging whether maybe you're saved or not, or acting like you don't have it all together like they do, and you feel like you can't measure up. And I want you to know today, as I remind myself, that gospel people embrace mess. So as people alive in Jesus, those are gospel people. And gospel people embrace mess. That doesn't mean we condone sin, but it means that we are working to restore people around us in love through the power of the Holy Spirit. As Jesus walks with us in our mess, in this process of restoring the brokenness in our lives, we know that we are also called to walk with people and embrace what they're going through, and embrace them with love in a spirit of gentleness, as it says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 1, and to bear one another's burdens and thereby fulfill the law of Christ, to love God wholly, completely, and to love one another, to love them even in their mess, as God has loved us in our mess, and it's bringing out healing and restoration in us, to the praise of His glorious grace. So as gospel people today, let's embrace the mess in people's lives around us. And number two, let's also allow God to work on our mess and be honest about it, that we need His continued work and of love and healing and mercy in our lives, and then going out to people around us, to the praise of His glory. So today, here's the bottom line. Gospel people that have gospel roots in the grace and mercy of Jesus Christ embrace mess in other people's lives to show the kind of grace that God has also given to them.
Hudson, check out this old barn here. What do you think of this?
I think
Looks like an old chicken coop.
1960.
1960? I'm guessing more like 1910.
1910. That's
Pretty broken down, weeds everywhere.
that's a long.
This probably hasn't been used for a long time. Over beyond this, there's another old barn here too. Friends, we're looking at this old barn because...
We know that we have broken hearts.
Yeah, because we have broken hearts.
Yeah.
Yep.